Hello, Tar Heel Nation, and hello, college basketball fans. This is the UNC Hoops Talk podcast. I'm your host, Dan DeWitt, and I thank you for joining me. What a day it was. Seriously, historically one of the greatest opening days of the tournament ever, as far as close games go and one-point victories go for teams. And for the Tar Heels, whew, is about all we can say. We moved on. We won. That's what you know. I'm here to tell you how we did it, what happened, why everybody had a heart attack, and all that. So I'm glad that you've joined me. I'm glad that you're here listening to this. Hopefully you get a chance before the Tar Heels game on Saturday, because we are going to spend a lot of time talking, of course, about the Tar Heels and their victory, their nail-biter over Harvard. We're going to look into the Arkansas matchup, and then I'm going to obviously cover the entire scope of the first day and look a little bit into today's matchups, which is Friday, and the weekends as well. So thank you for taking this journey with me. And let's dive right in. First of all, if you have any questions, comments, topics, feedback, anything like that, all the descriptions of places or all the links to get in touch with me in all the different places, social medias and all that, will be below this video. I would love to hear from you. That's what it's all about. So yeah, the Tar Heels first. Or should we start with college basketball? Let's start with the overall scope of yesterday's games. We had a record 5 games and in a 1-point victory for a team, and that does not even count games like UNC, which is a 2-point win. Notre Dame, I believe, was more than one. This was a close game. So a lot of stuff in there, really crazy. I'm sure you guys know already, but we had 2 threes get upset. Baylor and Iowa State get upset by Georgia State and UAB. And for all of the Tar Heel fans listening, UAB significant because Jared Haas, the former assistant of North Carolina and Roy's guy all the way back to Kansas, is coaching that team and pulls off the victory against Iowa State, which we can just ignore the fact that I had them in the championship game. So yeah, you know my bracket's busted, but hey, I know everybody else's is as well, so it's okay. And the Baylor game, if you did not see that, Georgia State upsetting them. Georgia State is the team where Kevin Ware, if you remember from a couple years ago when Louisville won the tournament, he was the guy that massively broke his leg in that horrific scene. And they also have Ryan Harrow from the NIT year of Calipari at Kentucky. Both there. I think Ryan Harrow's out actually with hamstring issues, but they also have the coach's son playing, and he's probably their best player. Struggled for a lot of the game, came on late, and actually hit the go-ahead basket. And if you have not seen the Vine, not even know the shot was great, but his dad, who is the coach, actually tore his Achilles or ruptured his Achilles, whichever the medical term is more correct there, celebrating when they won the conference tournament to make it into the dance. And so he was coaching from a stool the entire day game because he can't stand on it, sitting on a stool, rolling up and down. He's pretty animated before and hasn't changed much since on the stool, but his dad's sitting on the stool when his son hits the shot, goes nuts and actually falls off the stool. And if you have not seen that, please go search it. I'm sure it's on YouTube. I know I have it on Vine, so just go follow me at Vine, All Tar Heel Dan, and you can see that. It is a sight. I mean, that's what March Madness is all about. It is amazing to see. And I mean, he doesn't care. They beat Baylor. They're going on. They're still playing, all that stuff. So a great scene. Let's see, other things. Well, for the ACC, NC State is one of those 5 games with a 1-point victory. It was BJ Anye hits the buzzer beater to beat LSU in advance for the Cardiac Pack. If you want to go back to their 83 days, Let's see. I'm trying to think of other ACC teams that played. I don't think there was any other ones yesterday. We have Duke today. Virginia plays today. Louisville plays today. Notre Dame did play. They did win. I did mention that. Barely squeaked it. And that's the thing. It started right from the beginning. Notre Dame was the first game, close game. Second game was Iowa State. UAB up. No, it wasn't Iowa. Yeah. No, it was Baylor's the second game. Upsets them. Or was it Iowa State? One of those two games was the second one. I want to say it was Iowa State was the second game. Got upset, and my runner-up was eliminated in the second game of the tournament. And then the Baylor game and State's game was close late at night. North Carolina's game was close at night. I mean, it was just great. Really, the only blowouts we had was Kentucky, Arizona, Villanova. The 1 and 2 seeds. So yeah, it sets it up for a great day today. Should be plenty of great days. I don't know why these days are not national holidays. I know when my kids are older, if they want to stay home and watch, if they're going to watch, if they just try to stay home from school, it's not going to happen. But when they're old enough, if they are like, Dad, I want to watch basketball with you, it's like, okay. They're not going to school in these days if they don't want to, and they're really into watching the basketball. It's not, they're not going to skip school and then they're going to be playing with their toys or something. But if they're really into the games with me, they're staying home and watching with me. And I used to be a teacher saying that, so it's okay. But yeah, it should be a great games today. Leading into the weekend, should be some good matchups. Obviously, we're going to talk about the UNC Arkansas one. And actually, an interesting one that will happen tomorrow, Saturday, is UAB and UCLA. This was actually the 7th place game in the Bahamas, where we went. We beat UCLA. We were actually, I think we technically finished, I want to say we finished 5th, but I don't know about that for sure. I think we finished 5th. Was it UCLA we beat in that game? So they finished 6th, and UAB was 7th or something like that. Maybe it was 8th. I don't remember exactly, but they played actually, I know, in the Bahamas. I think UCLA beat them pretty easily, but interesting that the kind of that bottom of that tournament is now still alive in the second round of the tournament. So obviously we had Wisconsin in that tournament as well. We thought we'd match up with them, but we may in this tournament. We'll see. But I predicted that in that tournament and it didn't happen. So we're just going to leave that alone in this tournament for now. So yeah, if you're not excited about March Madness right there, if you didn't see those games, I don't know, then you're listening to the wrong podcast. You might as well pause and go find a different one. But yeah, awesome day. Historical day, like I said, and so many moments that one shining moment this year is going to have, and even beyond that, Ron Hunter falling off that chair, that's going to be in every. That's, I don't want to say the Leitner shot, but it's going to be around for a long time, seeing that happen. So as far as the Heels, last night tip off against Harvard. Looked to be going smooth. We were pounding it inside. We got a nice lead. It was double digits. Felt like if we just made one more run, we'd, kind of put them away and we'd win kind of easily. I know I saw some media people saying, they can't match up with them. Like, this is not going to be a close game and whatever. We got it up to as many as 16, and then about halfway through the second half, you could just kind of see it. The Heels were not playing with the same intensity. And, Harvard was still pushing. And, like too many times this year, this happened. And, we just kind of, I don't want to say collapse, but we just relax. We're not, as Roy wants to say, we don't have that sense of urgency. And it's just kind of blah until it gets tight. And then it's like, oh yeah, we need to still play. We need to close this game out. And you guys have heard me say many times on this podcast, if you've been listening, that Tar Heels really struggle closing teams out, closing games out, however you want to say it. And I thought we were going to lose last night. I'll go ahead and say it. Like, we got down to like 2 minutes, and Marcus, I don't know, I didn't think he fouled on the 3-pointer, but they got that 4-point play. They went from down 2 to up 2 in one possession. Like, and I think we didn't even score on the next one to tie it. Like, I thought we were done, but we had a chance. There's about 30 seconds left. I think there must have been more because there must have been like 50 seconds left. It's like they had the ball. It's like, we need one stop here. We need to score, and it'll be good. Maybe it was even tied at that point. I don't remember exactly. Tried to block a lot of that out from last night, but we got the stop. Justin Jackson scored the last 4 points for us. One kind of curling into the lane. I think he was fed in the high post, kind of curled in for his nice little floater. And then they had the ball. That must have been what it must have been tied with 50 seconds left. It's like, we need one stop and we need to score, and we can take this game and feel lucky, feel like we won the lottery, as Roy said in the post game. But they got a nice look, and it was at the end of their shot clock. Of course, they're taking it down as far as they can. Rebound gets tipped a little bit. JP grabs it. Marcus had leaked out. He, in the air, gets it up to Marcus. One guy was back. Justin was with him. He feeds Justin for a dunk. I believe about the second dunk of Justin's UNC career this year, and go up 2. There was still about, I want to say, 6-9 seconds left, something like that. And they actually got a pretty decent look at a 3, and it came off long. Marcus rebounded. It was the end of the game. They didn't even have time to foul to extend the game. But talk about giving a heart attack. It was, oh my goodness. Like, I'm usually pretty relaxed watching the game, but like when it's do or die and it's that tight in the first round with Harvard, yikes. And again, I have a Vine up of the final play. I believe it on the YouTube. I put highlights from the practice the day before with game highlights, so it should be in there. You can go check it out either on YouTube, UNC Hoops Talk on YouTube, or All Tar Heel Dan on a Vine, and you can see Justin getting the game winner. And really the only thing, not the only thing that saved us, but the only thing that kind of saved me was like, hey, Roy's never lost in the first round. We're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. But like I said, I thought we were done for. Of course, we had another guy for them go off, Wesley Saunders, 26 points, 5 assists for them. He was 8 for 14 shooting, 2 for 3 from 3, 8 for 9 from the free throw line. Never came out of the game, played all 40 minutes. Kept them close a lot of that game. I mean, I don't even know if it was really close. It was double digits, but kept them within striking distance, I guess. And and then ended up coming down to the wire. And the big thing is free throws. They shot 18 for 20, 90% from the free throw line. We shot 8 for 13. So not only did we shoot 7 less, we shot 5 less than they made. We only shot 61% or 62% from free throw line. What helped us, we had 5 threes. We were 5 for 7 from 3. They were 5 for 13. Marcus hit 2. Justin hit 2. JP actually started the game off with 1. We shot 55% from the game. It shouldn't have been close. They shot 38% from the game. So no way it should have been close. Difference is we had 17 turnovers. They had 7 turnovers, 9 steals. Being a bigger team, we still only had 2 blocks. And, out-rebounded them 35 to 26, but both had 12 offensive rebounds. And, they just got more shots. And, we got 23 defensive rebounds, but just can't give them that many opportunities. We can't let them hang around. We gotta. I was hoping, like when we closed out Virginia, when we closed out Louisville in the ACC tournament, that this team was kind of learning how to close teams out. But obviously not. It's got to change quickly because Arkansas is going to pressure us the whole game. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But For us, stat-wise, Justin led us 14 points. Marcus had 12, had 6 assists to 1 turnover. Kennedy had 10 points, 8 rebounds. Did have 5 turnovers, though. He had a couple of travels. I don't know. They were kind of questionable, I thought. But Bryce only shot 2 for 7, ended up with 7 points, 7 rebounds. JP, I thought, did a lot better. I know when I talked with Ross Martin, had him on the podcast to preview the entire tournament for the Tar Heels. We kind of talked about that he was settling for jumpers, wasn't getting all the way to the hole. And obviously to start the game, I mean, he was wide open, but settled for that three-pointer. But he ended up shooting 3 for 4, which is, I mean, if we can get that percentage for sure out of him. But, I mean, he can shoot more if it's there, if he's getting to the hole and whatnot. But shooting that kind of percentage for him and kind of limiting his shot selection is good. He had 7 points, 4 assists, 7 rebounds. And that's what we need for him, is just to stuff that stat sheet. We don't need a bunch of points from him. So if he can continue that, that'd be great. We had 9 points from Isaiah off the bench. There was one stretch where Isaiah, I think the end of the first half, everything was going through Isaiah Hicks, and he was doing well. He was 4 for 4 from the field. We had 7 guys in double-figure minutes. Joel James was 1 minute away from that. Interesting part is, and we've talked about it, touched it on the podcast, Nate Britt played 1 minute. Absolutely no stats other than the 1 minute, but just crazy to where he was. He was starting last year, started a couple games this year, and now he's down to 1 minute. Now Joel Berry is playing very nicely. He had 13 minutes. I think the biggest difference is Marcus is playing more minutes at the 1. Marcus played 39 out of the 40 minutes. So I think that's what's actually taking more of Nate's minutes than Joel Berry. Joel was getting 8 to 12 minutes before he got hurt, and then he was coming on strong. And now he's just playing very nicely. And next year, not next year necessarily, when Marcus is gone, he will take over that starting point position. I think everybody believes, but stat-wise, shouldn't have been that close. Athletic-wise, skill-wise, shouldn't have been that close. It's just the Tar Heels not putting people away, and something again we got to get better at. So that's that. We do move on. We advance. Arkansas was in a tight one. I believe they only won by like 3 or something over Wofford. So it's not like they had an easy game, could rest up for our game or anything like that. But they do advance. We advance to play Arkansas. Like I've said before, that's going to be an interesting matchup. They like to press the entire game. So again, like I was saying before, we cannot just relax, if we get a lead or whatever, because they're going to keep pressing. They're going to keep coming at us. And if they go on a run, they can go right on a run and pass it. It's hard to kind of flip the switch off and then, now we need to get going again. We got to just keep pressing the whole game and keep going and have that sense of urgency that Roy keeps talking about. I know he says it a lot. It's been a little while since he's talked about it, but I mean, he's right on. Like, we got to have a sense of urgency. And I don't know, maybe he talks about it too much that we don't, or whatever. I don't know what it is, but we got to find it. I'm tired of these guys just saying, yep, we got to do a better job. We got to do a better job. And then not changing anything. We got to change it. We got to go. So it will be interesting. Obviously, we like to run, so maybe their press helps us to get out in transition and run. If nothing else, it should be a very entertaining game. Hopefully the Heels can pull it out. I told you guys already that I did predict that. But I think most people do. I haven't seen really any brackets where UNC is losing to Arkansas. Maybe 1 or 2. But not from Tar Heel fans, of course. So we are about, an hour and a half from the first tip-off today. At 12:10 Eastern time is when they start again today. And if I didn't mention that the Heels play Arkansas, it is a 8:40 p.m. tip. I believe we're back on TNT tomorrow night. But 8:40 Eastern tip for the Heels and the Hogs. tomorrow night. So make sure you're around. Make sure you're watching, cheering them on. Yeah, hopefully it's not as close, unless that's what it takes to win. Of course, we don't want to be blown out, but I don't think that'll happen. Hopefully we can take care of business. We can keep advancing. This is the time of year. It doesn't matter how you win. It matters that you win. So I think that's about all I got. If you have stuff I missed or comments, questions, feedback, whatever, hit me up, email, Twitter, Google Plus, YouTube, whatever it is. It's down in the description below, all those links. I just appreciate that you're either watching or listening to this. It is available on YouTube, youtube.com/UNC Hoops Talk, or on iTunes. Just search UNC Hoops Talk or even UNC Hoops, and it should come up. Would love for you to subscribe so you don't miss any future podcasts. This is a record week. This is the third podcast I'm doing this week. I can't really believe it myself. So, yeah, we're going to keep rolling through March. Get at least one in every week, and then off season's almost here, and we go once a month. So we got to live it up while it's here. March Madness goes way too fast to take for granted. So live it up. Watch as many games as you can. Go crazy. This is the time of year you can. So love for you to subscribe wherever you're taking in this podcast. Love a review, likes, comments, whatever it is. But yeah, just interact with me in some way. Please, if you are not already, connect with me on social media, through email, whatever it is. I will respond. And I would just, I like getting to know more Tar Heel fans, basketball fans, whatever as it may be. We can chat. I'll chat college basketball and definitely Tar Heels at any time about anything, really. So that's all I got for you. I'm your host, Dan DeWitt, here at the UNC Hoops Talk podcast. We are the podcast for the fans by a fan. And yeah, March Madness, you gotta love it. Other than that is not the one I meant to hit. Go Heels.